Click something. Oh, there we go. Fuck. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Little misclick there. I actually had the stream deck set up all poorly, but we're good and we're fixed. It's PubChat with the Shills. If we could get this started properly. Hope you're all having a great time out there. We had an awesome debate show last night, and I'm sure that's going to be one of our topics, but we've got a few more to cover as well. So let's get right into this and see. Let's get right into this and see who's here. Yes, I can speak. It will happen. Let's turn right to Mike, the debate last night. How you feeling, man? What are you thinking?
Feeling good. It went better than I thought it did. I was a little nervous going in, but it worked out pretty well. And we got a couple of trolls in the comments. They're kind of interesting too. So we'll see how that goes too. See if they respond. So I called one of them out on his dishonesty. See what he does.
You know, I got to say real quick, Mike, the one thing I noticed about that debate, besides the fact that he was not debating and you were, was the fact that all these trolls came in and were supporting him. And about 20 minutes into it, they all disappeared. All except for one. They were all like, oh, he's going to crush him. He's going to crush him. And then they just disappeared. And all that was left was people going, get him, Mike. I would have killed him by now. So, yeah, they didn't last long. They knew he was doing a shit job.
Oh, well, we'll get into that in a few minutes. It was interesting. It's my first real debate, especially live face-to-face. I did a lot of arguing online with people over the years, but this is the first actual face-to-face, pseudo virtual face-to-face anyway. Yeah.
It was great. Oh, I loved it. Well, we'll cover it a bit more after we get around the table here. So, we've already heard B. Well, how's it going? What's happening your way? I know you only just made it.
I'm going to tell you. So for anybody that doesn't know, I live like a mile and a half up a dirt road, and here it's just like sandy red clay shit, and it had just rained, and I'm telling you, I had to clean my windshield 4 times because I was going through the mud puddles so fast. It was spraying the whole top of my truck. It was actually kind of fun, to be honest. It was a good excuse to drive like a maniac to make it here on time, and I'm doing great, and I'm so happy to see everybody, and I'm ready.
Well, awesome. And we'll check in with DKG. What are you thinking, buddy? How's things your way?
Hey, what? Oh, shit. Sorry, I was watching that Mick Wistream. Hello, everybody. Hello. I was actually, Dick, I don't know if you heard me. I was going to absolutely congratulate you on the new graphics for the intro. And then I realized it was playing an advert for EVE Online. So, how's it going, everybody?
Well, since you've got the skills, guess who's doing the next one, Big Mouth?
It'll just be me stripping in the toilet.
Oh, God.
That's what you'll get from me.
Well, I'm not up for that shit, so moving on.
Oh, awesome. And we should bring in Aimee. How's it going, Aimee?
Oh, great. Thank you. Everything's going wonderful. Got positive feedback from the debate and everything, so that was really cool. Everybody thought you did a great job, Mike. They were thrilled with you. So that was awesome. I was so happy with that. So it was a great night overall, and I'm looking forward to tonight too. So I want to thank everybody in the chat for coming. So thank you, guys.
All right, cool. So where do we lead off then? Should we dive right into some debate things? There was a couple like Graham Price in the chat just mentioned. You did great, Mike, but I think you should have put a stop to that religion nonsense a bit earlier. Now, that could also be called against me moderating. It's hard to find that balance of, letting him talk and giving him his time, but at the same, if we start calling fallacies, oh, fuck, he might as well just leave.
Yeah. Well, I thought about attacking that early on because that's his whole spiel for debates is it's all religion. But I didn't want to lead down some sort of a straw man path, so I pretty much ignored it. And then when I got the opportunity, I turned it back on him. Whereas his view is I see it, therefore it is, and there are no other possibilities, is blind faith in a religion right there. It's the very definition of it. So, I could have brought it up early, but I was just, I wanted to avoid any religious discussions and getting into what religion is, because he does tend to grasp onto things. If you're not following his script, he grasps onto things to straw man about.
Yeah.
And he's got a definite script.
He's really doing that keyword listen, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I was scribbling like mad, taking notes myself, so.
Yeah, well, there's a different, like I was saying before, that guy pretty much just talked about debating the whole time.
Yeah.
He didn't really debate the topic until the end where you pushed him towards it.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say for everybody, I would not have had as much patience as you. So kudos to Mike on that one.
Yeah. The very first time I did debate someone online, it was right to hand, and he just pissed me off to no end. I actually lost my cool all over him, and I was screaming into the mic. But I tried not to do that this time.
I have a very serious question for you, Mike.
Yeah.
When you were debating Chemo and you were scribbling notes down on a A4 pad, reams and reams of gibberish, how many times did you doodle a little penis in the margin?
I actually didn't. I was too busy trying to write and listen.
No, because that's what I'd have been thinking of while listening to him.
Yeah, well, the thought had crossed my mind. Obviously, like, what the hell is this dick doing? And it was a little frustrating trying to get him to commit. And he even said it towards the end after he talked about the relative density. He said, this is why I don't make claims. Well, this is a debate. Isn't that what it's about?
Yeah. And isn't the flat earth a claim, if nothing else? I mean, like, hello?
Yeah, absolutely. It is. Even when I press them on it, looks flat. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out in the chat because Chief is here, and we got to shout out Chief Mojo Razin. I just had to do that, okay? And I had to.
Yeah.
Damn it, Dick. I was trying to sing with you. My mic was muted. Shit.
Oh, bummer.
No, but all in all, I think Mike did great. He was very organized. He was putting his points across well. He was defining stuff well. So I think he did great. I think that he needs better competition next time.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
I would like to see Mike go at somebody like Riley or Eraser, who actually think they understand some of the more interesting things you could talk about, and yet they really don't. Because that would be really fun. Because then you would actually get to flex, more than one brain cell, which would be cool.
Yeah.
A lot of those flurfers and those like heavy duty Bible thumpers, they just really try to piss people off. So you come out looking like a jerk and they come out looking like they're the better person. And that's pretty much what they go for. And I noticed he was trying to do that with you, Mike, because he kept saying, well, now, Mike, this isn't about religion. And he kept poking, poking the bear through the whole thing. So, yeah, they just try to make you mad. What's his name? Duncan Atheism. He tried that crap with my brother and tried to piss him off and was telling him he was stupid and he needed to go seek therapy and he's crazy. And my brother kept going, no, that's not fair. Let's stick to the topic, and he couldn't get him and it pissed him off. And when those guys debate with people, I'm surprised he went through the whole thing because most of them will duck out because they're not getting their way and pissing you guys off,
Yeah, I did notice in past debates that Chemo doesn't normally do that. He does it. He tries. He stays, and I don't think I've ever seen him rage quit, like some other people do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I've never seen him before the debate, so I was clueless about him.
Yeah, he's got a pretty calm demeanor. He stays, you know, even when he's not doing well, he just carries on.
Yeah, I mean, he's not rude or anything. He's
No.
actually one of the most respectful flurfers I've ever come across, honestly.
Yeah.
He was totally respectful and, oh, was it my turn and stuff like that. So, that was definitely noticeable that it seems like a decent guy. He's just following a lot of fallacies,
Oh yeah.
Oh boy, he's not always that decent. When he said he's being polite and stuff like that, sometimes he'll be the opposite, where he'll be talking to someone, it will be like sir, or professor. It can be really condescending at times, and he was a little bit condescending last night, especially every time he brought up it's not a religion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He was tinging on it. He was pushing. He was trying to push buttons at that point. But Mike didn't bite on it, and I think that's why he backed off from it. It didn't work.
I've seen him be an utter condescending prick.
Yeah, he did back off of it,
and he does do it just to try to annoy you. He is literally just trying to wind you up.
Yeah. And he did back off of it, but then got back onto it. I think he was trying to, towards the end, trying to drive back into his scripted narrative. But by then it was kind of too late. I had gotten him to actually make a claim which was kind of interesting. It's an apple falls, hits water, it floats, therefore gravity is falsified. Oh, okay. That's how that works, huh? Kind of amazing.
Yeah. And then the comment back and the on the comment section, that was
Yeah, we got a troll in the comments who just keeps repeating the comment I made where I said that gravity isn't a force. But what he's doing is he's just using that quote and then ignoring all of the follow-on information I provided about how the result is a force, demonstrable, measurable, quantifiable force. And it's typical cherry picking and misrepresentation, intellectual dishonesty.
Yeah.
And I told him we're going to be talking about him on the pub chat. I was hoping he was going to show up, but
yeah, it would have been nice. Wow, look at that. There's a real, hold on a second here. I'm just going to try to fix something. Google Meets has really, like in the new update, changed a few things, and it's screwing up the way the captions are being grabbed and all kinds of shit. I'm just going to do some fixes in the background. I'll stop muttering. I'll be right back. 1 second.
Well, it's like Linda said in the chat. Can you say cherry picking?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they like to cherry pick.
Oh yeah, that's what this guy's doing. And I called him on one of the stupid things he said, and I same thing I tried to hammer chemo on last night about. Okay, so you're saying relative density causes things to fall, but it also accelerates in the opposite direction. That's what terminal velocity is. So how can it work in both directions? So I asked him that, and then he talked about, well, you got a beach ball and you drop it and it falls, and then it goes into the water and you push it underwater and it comes back up. I said, that is just not even close to the question I asked.
And it wasn't. It was like a whole different topic.
Yeah, it was. So I was like, come on, So just stick to one medium. You had to cheat and bring another one in because you don't have the balls to answer the question. That's what I told him too. I told him he didn't have the balls to answer it. So we'll see.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I've said this many times, and I'll say it many other times in the future. I don't debate because I don't know enough about the topics that people want to debate about. So let's just admit that and don't debate. Quit sticking yourself out there like you're some debate king and you don't even have facts. If you're not going to bring facts and you're not going to bring resources and references, then just keep your ass in the audience like I do. Yeah.
And, I think that, I wanted to call him out on that. It's like we got towards the end and I had it in my notes to say something about it, but the fact that he wasn't there to debate. He was there to force me to answer his questions in the way he wanted the information presented, and I'm forcing me to make a claim that I then have to support and defend so that he has something to argue without having to actually argue his point at all. And that's the way every single one of his debates has gone. It is, in my opinion, a very dishonest way to approach this. You either believe in and can support your argument, or you can't.
Yeah. DK
absolutely.
wants in.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got a very important observation to make about Chemo's balls. I don't actually think they're geometric. I think they're only apparent.
An apparent curve. They're flat balls.
That's all I got to say on that.
Yeah.
No
Hi,
comment.
Chemo. Hi, Chemo.
Is he here? Is he here?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I guess not.
Let me.
Yeah.
Well, at least not with his real account. Who knows, right?
Yeah, true. He could just be hanging out.
Yeah. I mean, I sub a bunch of flat earthers to make sure I'm up on the content, but I don't do it with my channel because I don't want all that garbage in my recommended feed. You know, how do I explain that to my neighbor? What the fuck do you watch? No. It's because, I argue with idiots regularly. It doesn't help. It just doesn't help.
Well, I don't sub to any of them, but I do go to their channels. I look at what they've got and watch or download some of their stuff. And just doing that gets you all kinds of stuff in your feed.
Yeah, I prefer to I'll find one that does streams, throughout the week randomly, but they're not on all the time. And I'll sub to that one person, and then I can go look at their other crap that they have on their page for other people and stuff. And I can just go from there and see who's live and stuff. But yeah, I refuse to do that. I'm not going to give them the subscription. Really, that's what it is to me.
Yeah, that's my philosophy too.
Now, I'm subbed to one of them today, and he's brought out a video today. Yeah, Zoom Truth. Does anybody else know Zoom Truth?
Nope.
No, I don't think so.
He's a fucking jerk. Just everything's. The whole world is against you. Don't trust your government. Everybody's lying. And he brought out a video today that's entitled "A Tribute to the Victims and Heroes of the Tragic Florida Condo Collapse."
Oh wow!
And it's not a tribute at all. Basically, he's showing footage of people, telling their stories, and of course, if they show any smile or anything like that, then obviously they're lying, and having survived the thing, I think you'd probably be a little bit happy, but basically he's got like a 20-minute video that only 15 of it deals with this. And I'm not entirely sure what he's going with. I mean, obviously he's trying to make a claim that the condo collapse was a conspiracy, and these are all actors. But he's not saying very much about it. Just think, oh, just shut up, you fucking cunt. Because these sort of people don't seem to believe that there's accidents happen. Everything is fluffy bunny rabbits in their world, and if anything does happen, it's a lie, it's fake, it's the government. We're being manipulated, and we're all sheep for believing the media and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. Because let's face it, who else reports the news than the news media? You don't really find the news anywhere else apart from the news media, because that's why it's called the news. I know. Yeah, I really don't get that one. But anyway, he does like 2/3 of video about that, and then he drops into some kind of flat Earth observation video, which again is quite funny, because talking about religion, and I find it kind of like ironic that every time that these people are doing like some kind of observation across the sea or whatever, to display where they are and how far things are, they're using Google Earth.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, they're not making those. They're not making those measurements themselves. They are relying on Google Earth. Now, that I would think chemo would be against that, surely, because you're not doing it yourself, and you're relying on the religious belief that Google Earth is accurate.
Yeah.
And if Google Earth is accurate, then why isn't the whole fucking thing accurate?
Yeah.
You know, but you pull out and it's a globe. Where does it stop? Where does those measurements stop being accurate? And then it's a flat Earth and flat Earth, flat Earth. Oh no, it's globe now. Yeah. Where does that happen? What the fuck are these people on about?
Yeah, it's interesting too, because if you go into Google Earth and you measure a distance, a straight line, so you go to the Tropic of Cancer, let's say, and you click on one longitude median and then go over 10 degrees to the next one and make that, and then go down to the other tropic and do the same thing, you get the same number. Why is that? Because, it's not fucking flat where the radius just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Something I wanted to bring up last night. So, because the flat Earth map is the de facto killer, and I didn't get to it. So,
it is just so dumb.
Yeah,
and anybody who actually does like stand up for that flat Earth map model, it takes moments to decimate it, and they have nowhere to go. Or they just basically back out and say, well, yeah, it's not really our model. It's not accurate. We don't really know.
Yeah, and that's you see that a lot on Facebook now. And I never said that is our map. I never said that was our map. No one said that's our map. And it's like, well, why don't you have one? Don't you understand?
It's 2020.
Yeah,
no, it's not. It's 2021.
2021.
Oops.
Yeah. It's like
I was gonna say.
yeah. You put me. You keep me right, B.
It's a big fucking floor plan. That's all it is. A straight line distance between any 2 points should represent reality. It should be that simple. A high school geometry class ought to be able to make that damn map, but none of it works. So why is that? And they got no answer. And that's why they keep saying, well, I never said that it was our map. So now I've taken to not asking them about their map. It's like I'm starting to asking them, why don't you have a map?
Yeah. Why not? It's just so simple.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it's just
because it's all a bunch of theories. That's why. I mean, these guys. I don't know. It's ridiculous. And I want to say one thing real quick. And I know it's a small part of what DKG said, but him using these people that are laughing and stuff, if he knows anything about psychology or the working of the human body, you'll know two things. You'll know, one, people laugh in stressful situations. It's a stress release so they don't crack, basically. And two, when you go through a scary situation, which I don't know if he's ever been through one, I'm thinking no. When you go through a scary situation, your adrenaline kicks in and really gives you this boost of energy, and it'll give you a little euphoria in with it. And it's to protect your body from the trauma and your mind. That's that's why people forget like the last, I don't remember that 10 seconds of the wreck. Well, that's because your body's protecting you from it. That's what it's what happens. So using that as evidence that someone's in a conspiracy, that is extremely ignorant.
Well, he is stretching, to say the least, because in his video, he's constantly intercutting it with a TED talk with a woman who basically lied about the death of her children, and she basically, murdered them. And there's in the interview where she's like describing she remembers the bodies with the blood coming out of them and everything. She just like pauses for a moment, and there's like this really evil little grin comes across her face. And in the TED talk, it's all about the psychology and body language and stuff like that. And basically, the psychologist is basically pointing out the fact that this is the obvious sign of a liar. Now, but then he's like using that. And don't forget, we're talking about someone who was a murderer
Yeah.
And comparing that to people who survived a tragic incident, it's not, for a start, it's apples and oranges. It's not the same thing at all. And like you say, lots of things happen when you go through that kind of traumatic thing. And like I said, if you're smiling because you survived, I think most people would be happy to survive.
Well, hell yeah, you get yourself and whoever is in there with you, out. That's, we all feel bad for people we don't know, but it's more of an impact if you care about somebody. So, hell yeah, you get everybody out. You're going to be like, whoo, holy crap, that was close. That's just a normal human reaction,
Yeah.
So,
he is a cock. He is a massive cock. He's the one that created the Flat Earth People Finder. The social network for finding other flat earthers, and his location on his Flat Earth People Finder map is basically using Google Maps, and then just one click away to actually seeing the globe. It's such a dick.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough about that. Move on.
Yeah.
Aimee.
Yeah, sorry, it was Jason Kidd.
No, that's all right. I figured you missed it. We got a new member.
Nice. We got a new member. That's awesome.
Yeah. Jeff, Godless Scummer. He's a new member.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much, Godless Scummer, for the
you know what it is? You know what it is? I'm looking because I've got Streamlabs, all these alerts. They come onto my OBS as well. And it says Godless Scummer member X12. And that means he's been for a year now, 12 months. And it's a new thing Streamlabs is doing. They're bringing up alerts to say, hey, renewed and whatnot. I don't understand why when I can't even get the polls to work and Streamlabs usually just shits the bed and lays there. So,
right.
Well,
So
happy
that's
anniversary, Jeff.
Yes.
Yes, happy anniversary.
Yeah.
Ugly German truth just said, Flat Earth People Finder. Is that a troll scope? That's good. That was good.
That is good.
It's a poemeter.
Yeah, poemeter.
So in BC here, I'm in British Columbia, Canada. There's a town called Lytton. And for 3 days in a row, they set the ultra top temperature ever recorded in Canada, higher than Las Vegas's temperature record, no less. And on day 4, there was a fire that sparked, and literally in no time at all, the town is gone.
The whole time.
I was going to say something about that, Dick.
Yeah.
I was actually, would have been a horrible joke, but I was going to ask you if the temperature was the highest before or during the fire, because I did hear,
exactly.
Yeah, it's not really that funny, kind of dark humor, but yeah, I did hear about that. Neil was saying something about that.
Yeah.
What I found interesting too is I was reading the article about that, and just before the fire started, it seems to be started by lightning. There was this massive thunderstorm, and there was like 711,000 lightning strikes over BC and part of Alberta.
Yeah, it says 710,117.
There it is. That's just a huge my God.
Yeah.
I have this website I linked to. I follow weather stuff, and it's just tracks lightning strikes. I wish I could have known that was going on, because I'd have brought that up, because that would have been like impressive to just see all of the strikes running across the screen. Wow.
Yeah, that's
how many monkeys?
That's insane.
How many monkeys did they have to employ to count them all?
Yeah. It's amazing.
Computers do that, but it's always good to have a drunk monkey lying around to count stuff like that.
Of course it is. Well, yeah, it's I've seen huge numbers of strikes, because a lot of times what happens is I'm following the lightning strikes, and then all of a sudden you'll see, as the storm is over Long Island Sound or over the Atlantic Ocean, there will just be these huge clusters of. And I don't know why it is that it's over water. Maybe it has something to do with all the temperature differences that drive these storms. I'm just guessing at that, but I've never seen that kind of thing over land before. And of course, we've never seen 110 degree Fahrenheit temperatures in British Columbia. I mean, that's just nuts.
Yeah, and in that town, it would get up to 121 Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
That's hot. That's hot.
It is. It's amazingly hot. That's like Death Valley kind of hot right there.
Yeah.
And it's the Pacific Northwest too. They don't normally get that hot there.
Well, I just want to point out that, climate change is fake.
Yeah, that's right. It is. It's totally fake. And there's no evidence that we can see that it's ever happened.
You're right. Yeah. Right. And that's why the bottom of that article that Dick had brought up, the scientist said it's already quite bad and it's going to get worse. And I'm choosing my words carefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have an online friend who lives in Washington. I got an online friend who lives in Washington State, and he was saying the other day that they're seeing temperatures just like they were in British Columbia that are. He said normally this time of year he's like near the coast because of the way the trade winds all go. You're lucky to get into the lower 70s, mid 70s, and he said that they just had day after day after day of 90 plus degrees, 100 degrees. It never gets that hot in Washington State and Oregon. It just doesn't.
See, I've got absolutely fabulous, pristine data on the fact that global warming is actually happening and it is real, because I have not seen any grandmas knitting tank tops for their grandchildren anymore. It just doesn't happen. Therefore, global warming is a thing.
Well, you just can't argue with that.
I mean, it's true, man.
And I'm not even a scientist.
Yeah, they all went back to doilies and potholders.
Yeah.
And now they're trying to invent sunproof hats out of yarn, right?
Knitting sunglasses.
Yeah.
That kind of logic always reminds me of The Simpsons and the rock that keeps to the tigers away. I just love that little part.
Yeah. Grandma's looking for yarn, and it's like, what color do you want? Okay, what SPF do you want?
Right. SPF coated yarn. That's available at your local fabric store.
Don't laugh. I bet it exists.
It probably does. Oh, well, people, I keep telling people, you can come up with the stupidest ideas. But if you can make it sound cool and no one's made it yet, a bunch of dumbasses will buy it and you will be rich. There will be dumbasses.
Do people care so much to say like it's organically fed yarn? Like, does anybody care? Is that a thing?
No, absolutely. Like the yarn came from llamas that were fed organic and was humanely harvested from the llamas. Oh yeah, I mean I've seen people pay $25 for a pair of socks because it said that on it. Yeah. I'm not kidding.
Oh, income. We have a friend who actually owns a yarn store. Yeah, it's kind of amazing where some of the stuff is sourced from. Yeah, it's
wow.
Yeah, it's
I got a couple of comments I'm going to read out quick here, and then I've got to check my little man, so I'll just be 1 second. But Grumpy Old Man Joe said there's also more zombie fires. These are the fires that smolder over the winter and then that can flare up again in spring. Yeah, my area is a fire hazard prone area, whatever you're supposed to say, and I know the term for sure. And then there was Ugly German Tourist. He said, but don't drunken monkeys only count like the Sesame Street count of crap? One shit, two shits. Okay, sorry, I'll be right back, everybody. And Linda's here. Hey,
Linda.
Hello.
Oh, you hooked it up. All right.
Yeah. I'm not totally incompetent.
I didn't say that you were.
Watch it there, Mike. We want you to stay married.
Yes. Well, we've been married for 38 years, so.
So she's tolerant. Congratulations, Linda.
Yes, I am.
Yes, that is the truth too. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Great for you. Yeah.
And she did say in the side chat that I do obsess over weather, and I do. I'm actually about to install a backyard weather station this weekend.
Well, it's okay to do that because that's our environment. I wouldn't spend my whole life looking at it unless you want to go for meteorologists. But, it's our environment and it's important and it's about safety and, there's lots of factors there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you, it's rained so much here already this summer that things are so green. And I'm in the high desert and there's like plants popping up out of the ground that weren't there last year. So we're loving it. Here we're like, yes, rain more.
Yeah, we've gotten a crap ton of rain over the last week or so. I mean, we've got over an inch since last night. And it seems lately that when it does rain, it's not just like, you get a quarter inch or a third of an inch of rain. No, it's like 1, 2, even 3 inches of rain in one continuous thing. It's getting ridiculous.
What state are you guys in?
We're in Connecticut. I'm going to have to drain we're going to have to drain our pool this weekend because we've gotten so much rain this week. And the interesting thing about the pool, it just collects the water. If you get 1 inch of rain, the pool level goes up an inch. So we've gotten like 3 inches this week.
Right.
But isn't that where you want the water? I mean,
that's where I prefer it.
I'm no scientist, but normally when I want a pool, I normally like the water in the pool.
You do, but you don't want too much because then the skimmer doesn't work well. And when it rains a lot, it drives the temperature of the pool way down. It gets cold.
So I'm guessing, Mike, that you and Linda ended up getting the rain that we had a few days ago. So you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yes,
we sent it your way, so that's good.
Well,
we love.
Did you spit in it first?
This weather's been crazy. The beginning of the week, it was like 98 degrees, 99. It's like close to 100 degrees, and now this weekend, which is 4th of July, we have 60 degrees tomorrow.
Well, you know what? That's
and
great.
rain.
If it's little, that's good. Nothing will catch on fire with the fireworks. It's great.
This is true. But we're not going to have fireworks because they've been canceled because of the rain.
Because it's raining, yeah. We're actually
think of it like all the dogs and all the vets out there that you did not just startle them. So maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah.
We're supposed to actually set a record tomorrow for the lowest high temperature for the date. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, well, that's great. Yeah, it got down to like, I think it was like 52 or something at night, a couple nights there after the heat spell because we got all that rain. And I actually woke up chilly and I was like, what the hell? I had to turn my fan off. It was weird, Yeah,
it is weird. And like Linda said earlier in the week, we were in the mid to upper 90s with the dew points in the 70s. So we had heat indexes like 110, 112 degrees. And right now it's 59. So
yeah. Well, admittedly though, that's not very shocking. Where I'm at, actually anywhere in the high desert or desert area, it's common for the degrees to drop like 30 overnight.
Yeah.
So, you'll be sweating your butt off during the day and then it gets really nice and cool at night and you can sleep like a baby. So I'm good. I mean, our humidity is usually between 10 and 14%.
Yeah.
So it's dry. Yeah.
Yeah. We get a lot of humidity in the summer. It's like, it's not just hot, it's humid, and it's the humidity. Like yesterday, the temperature wasn't really high, but the humidity was high. So it made it feel really, really hot.
Right. And that's what I hated about I've lived all over the East Coast and, Northeast and stuff. And that's what I hated about living over there. It was just so humid. And I came over here and, it's hot out and you're sweating, but you're not dripping with sweat because it's drying off of you, as if once it builds up too much, kind of dries off a little bit. So it's nice, it's great. And there's always a breeze here. And I don't know, I'll quit bragging, but I have no complaints.
No, because I live in the UK. I mean, humidity is barely a subject. It's it's not the sort of things we talk about over here. And what the Brits are like. They love talking about weather. Now, when it's 14% humidity, does that mean there's like 40% water in the air? And if you get to 100% humidity, are you in Mike's pool?
Yes, that's basically
Pretty much.
correct.
Pretty much.
Anything
yeah.
over 90, pretty much, from my experience, anything over 88 to 90%, it's going to be raining.
Yeah, over 90% you're swimming.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. 100% you're swimming. You're getting drenched.
Yeah. The
There's
problem
no-
is when it gets that hot and the humidity is that high, when it gets to be 95 degrees and the dew point's in the 70s, you sweat, but it doesn't evaporate. So you're just dripping, and it's just nasty. And
Well, you're probably collecting more moisture out of the air.
yeah, pretty much. It seems that way sometimes.
Yeah, I lived in Florida for a while, and I remember
It's horrible there.
yeah, it's so bad down there. I was in Orlando and I was trying to find a job, and I didn't want to drive around because there's so many businesses next to each other. So I just walked out my front door, walked down a couple blocks, and I was walking from business to business just filling out an application. Well, every time it was hot, by the time 11 a.m., and with that humidity down there in the summer, and this was like June or July or something, so it was horrid. And so with the humidity, I was drenched by the time I got to literally just walking down the sidewalk, getting to the next business. So I would duck inside, go in the bathroom, air out my clothes, kind of like how you pull it away from your body to air it, trying to dry it off so I didn't look like some sweaty scumball because I'm walking into restaurants and businesses trying to get a job. And then I'd go out there and fill out the application. And by the time I was done, I was nice and cool and dried off, and I'd walk out and do it again. And by the end of the day, I'm telling you, I had it was like Salt Lake City in my freaking underwear, from sweating and drying and sweating and drying.
Well, and then you got the nice, refreshing rain that you get every day.
Yeah. Every afternoon.
You set your clock by it.
Yeah. When I was stationed in Orlando, I just had to make sure that, you keep track of the time so you're not standing in line outside the chow hall at between 3 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
You're going to get drenched. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, my brother lives down there. He lives in Tampa, and a friend of his just recently, it was actually not recently, it was like a couple of years ago, asked him if he should move down to Florida, and he said, "Fuck no."
I have a lot of family around Tampa, St. Pete area, and I just think they're crazy. I don't even know. I go visit them in November. That's what I do. I go for Thanksgiving, so it's moderate out, and I'm walking around almost hot, and they're wearing jackets,
Yes.
but it feels good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Might be in shorts and a t-shirt.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that was a nice talk about the weather, but I don't think that's why we really came here.
I did want to throw in one thing. Mike, you mentioned the weather station. Over on YouTube channel LGR, Lazy Game Reviews, a couple of years back, he did a great video where he got a really old weather station made for the Commodore VIC-20 or 64,
Wow.
and he got another one for really old DOS computers and set them up and stuff. It was great. It was really cool.
That's kind of neat. You know what's cool about that, though, is a lot of people have them, and now they'll say, okay, the temperature in your town is this, the weather service says it's this, and you're like, it doesn't feel like this, and it turns out that it's not, because all these weather stations, they hook up to sites like the Weather Underground and stuff, so you can look at them all, and you could see how they're all showing pretty much the same temperature. Then the weather service says it's 3 degrees, 5 degrees lower. It's like, what the hell? Where do you guys get your numbers? And most of it's from airports. So, that's not really the best place to be telling what it is in your backyard. It's kind of interesting to watch what everybody's doing.
I agree. Especially with good binoculars. No, I mean, wait, sorry. What?
No, that's
I
for
don't
the
know if
late
you'd be
show.
looking in the backyard for that.
Yeah.
Save that for the late show, Dick.
Yeah. What the hell's going on in your yard?
Dick was purely talking about his ornithology.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Everybody loves a pretty bird, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
birds with big tits. That's Oh, sorry. great tit. Great tits.
Jeez.
Could be worse. He could be watching woodpeckers. No, let's not go there.
It's Woody.
I don't know if that was Roadrunner. That sounded more sheep to me. I need to work on that.
That was the sex. Yeah, that was the sex call you usually hear from a Welsh pub. But
Oh, snap. Apparently, I'm hanging out in the wrong pubs. Is that the guys or the women or everybody does that?
You can't do that without Barman being here. Come on.
yeah, well, exactly. I was just gonna say we need barman.
He's been busy.
Yeah, but as every good Welshman knows, you don't have your sheep at the edge of a cliff for no reason at all. I'm just saying.
Right. Right.
It gives them the choice.
Yeah. You can either push back or push forward. All right.
It's enough of that. So what's our next topic there, Dick? Do we have any other like trolls or anything to pick on tonight?
I didn't get to do as much pre-show prep as I would like, which is usually about 15 minutes. But there's been some parenting involved. So last pub chat we did touch on the growing situation with the residential school system that was previously in Canada and the unmarked graves that are being found. There's a third location and the numbers are close to 1,100 now.
Holy crap.
That is just terrible.
And there's crews with ground penetrating radar and whatnot gearing up to check some other locations and so on. And there wasn't a lot of fireworks yesterday for Canada Day. Most celebrations were put on hold. It's just there was some in some places, and I know somewhere in Canada. A couple of statues of Queen Victoria and Elizabeth were toppled over. And,
I saw that.
But,
What do they have to do with it?
And one church burned.
Oh no, 4 churches have burned.
Oh, we're up to 4
Catholic
now?
churches. Yeah, 4 Catholic churches on reservation lands have been burned to the ground so far, and I think 2 of the 4 are like from the late 1800s, and the other 2 were early 1900s. But a lot of the elders of the different communities are not cool with this whole church burning thing. People had weddings booked, and one lady was like, "I go there weekly. How could you people do this?" And so it's a good sign, because you don't want to see any undue hate delivered to people who weren't actually a part of it. They're just in an organization that was sort of a part. You know what I mean? It's really real.
Look, Dick, it doesn't matter. They're Christians. They can forgive you.
That's right.
And 2 wrongs don't make a right. You know. I mean, I would have. I understand, and I probably would have had to stand there for a minute and think about it to say, no, I'm not going to help you do that if I was there. But at the same time, you can't do those things. And all it does is make you look more like a jerk. Let the assholes be the assholes.
Right. Guilt by association.
Absolutely. Then you're just lumped in. You're a jerk too. So, it's just like during the BLM marches, I got mad at I was pissed off at all those white people that were running around smashing shit. Well, they were making it look like the black people were doing, and it pissed me off.
One thing to remember that the people who probably are setting fire to these churches are probably not 100% there, in the same way as it had people's like burning down 5G towers because they're melting our children's brains and stuff like that. We're not talking about rational people or just normal people. They are probably unhinged people anyway.
So 2 of the churches that were burned on the first night went up within an hour or so of each other and are about that distance away in a vehicle. So that's not hard to figure out, right? And then it was the exact same situation with the next 2. Somebody, Don Giovanni, says in the chat that it might be up to 7 churches, but the 4 I know of for sure are because they're all, sort of in my somewhat area. I mean, it's a big area, but you know what I mean? It's and judging by what I know of that residential school system and how many schools there were, and how long it was in use and being done. This is definitely not the end of it. It's gonna get worse.
I have a question for anybody that might know. First of all, do they know that these were indigenous people that did this and burnt down the churches, or was this someone else using an excuse to throw their hate around?
Yeah, there's no clear evidence yet. There isn't. There's a couple of witness sightings of a vehicle, and I can only imagine how active both communities, like our RCMP police, as well as the ban zone investigators and whatnot, because they're not happy about this. The elders and leaders are not wanting this to be their response. They're not cool with it. They would much rather make sure the government is punished, right?
Yeah.
Well, and that's exactly it. Most indigenous people are about peace. That's what they are about. They live their life. They try to live their life in peace and are more connected to the earth and, Mother Nature and all that. And they're not the kind of people that run around just, people are like, oh, they were scalping people during the blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, but we were killing them. We were destroying their entire tribe. You think they're not going to try to they got to be pissed off eventually. But, in general, most of them are peaceful people, so I just don't see them running out there and doing that. I think someone else is using it as an excuse. I don't know. That's my opinion.
I don't think that's far from the truth. I think you're probably right. I doubt it's indigenous people, or if it is, it's probably younger people.
Right. Younger, angry. Right.
Yeah. Angry. Yeah. It's definitely angry people.
And like I said, I can't blame them for that. I could not even in my wildest dreams fathom what that is like. I mean, we can't, I'm a white person. I don't know. What living your life like that is, and how angry they would be. But I still don't think that they'd go around and try to cause mass destruction. And if the younger ones did, I feel like the elders would stop them, and someone would find out.
Yeah.
It's going to be community dividing in a lot of communities. It's such a shitty deal.
Yeah, it really is.
So what is the government doing?
At this point, I'm not really sure. I know that their official stances has been like, we stand with our communities and so on. And I mean, it must be really hard because we're dealing with an issue that happened before anybody who's now dealing with it was in a position to deal with things. You know what I mean? So,
right.
I mean, let's say the Canadian government gets all apologetic and starts, trying to do things and whatnot to try to make up for things. I mean, it's not the people who did it. So, some politician to save votes and try to get reelected starts, kissing up and saying, oh, we're so sorry and stuff. Does it actually mean much?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're one of those ones that's really mad and pissed off, it probably doesn't mean much at all.
That's what I'm wondering, like, how do you appease this situation? Like, what could make the different parties involved ever feel happy with an outcome? Because I don't see one at this point. Well, it's just horrible.
And that's exactly what I was just thinking. The bottom line is, in any group of people, you're not going to make everybody happy. So, and I think that's part of the problem in the U.S., with the reparations for slavery is how do you make everybody happy? It's almost impossible to do. The current people that had nothing to do with it have been here for 12 years or something, or 30 years, or their families only been here for 50 years. They don't want to pay for it. And I get that. Mm-hmm. My family, we never owned any slaves. My great grandparents didn't even come over until late 1800s, and they were poor, so we were too poor to own slaves anyways. And we fought in the war, and we fought for freedom and all that, and so I personally think that whoever's directly correlated with the slavery or with the murder or with the whatever it is, those companies, those people, those ancestors, those descendants, they need to deal with it. Because a lot of people got rich off the backs of all of those people, including the indigenous people. So I think that'd be a good place to start. You know, the corporations that started out using slaves and now they're these big, huge, you know, cotton companies and whatever else.
Yeah.
So I think that they should come out of their ass. That's my opinion on it. Whoever benefited from it should pay for it.
Right. And that's a well thought out answer, because to just say everybody should when everybody wasn't a party to it, and this many hundreds of years later, or this many years later, however many years it is for this indigenous thing, you know, it's a horrible tragedy.
Oh yeah.
You know, in the country, and how do you fix that? It's like you know, you need to talk to the people that it affected and go from
that's
there.
exactly I feel like every group, you know, tight knit part of whatever community needs to find one representative, and they all need to send their representatives forward, and they need to dwindle it down to a handful of people that are going to represent that entire, you know, people, that entire area, that state or whatever. And they need to sit down with the government. The government needs to listen to them. That's what needs to happen. It's not our decision.
Now, Linda was asking. On a side note, I only own a couple of slaves, and they seem really happy. But that's a different matter. Linda was saying, "What is the government a stance on this has been?" But what's the Catholic Church's approach on this?
That's
Denial, I'm sure.
I mean, obviously, you know that they've got vast sums of money that could possibly help in some way.
They're the richest corporation in the world. Yeah.
What have they done?
No, they're not going to. They're going to do the same thing they did with the priests. They have a bunch of priests hiding in the state I live in right now, in a monastery, and they're just a bunch of pedophiles.
So
they cover up. They take care of their own people, make themselves look better, so they can still stand there and say that, oh, I'm Catholic, I'm Christian, you know, or whatever. But the bottom line is they're filthy, just like every other large corporation.
No, there was this fantastic debate several years ago with Stephen Fry and Christopher Hitchens. The Catholic Church is a force for good in the world. Was the debate, and those two absolutely demolished the stance of the Catholic Church, and that was several years ago. My God, that debate would be a fucking annihilation today.
Yeah.
If that debate had happened, you know, you could just count this, that, and the other. Just bring all this shittery that's been going on behind the Catholic Church.
I would love for somebody to get a hold of that and put that back out there.
Oh, well, it's on YouTube. Don't get me wrong. I'm not having a go at people with religious beliefs, but Jesus Christ, the Catholic Church is a fucking quagmire of shit. So there you go. That's my opinion. That's my scientific opinion. But remember, Mike, this is not a religious issue. So
that's right.
No.
So,
that's
so
right.
Not a
please.
religious
It's
debate.
not.
Yeah,
No. This is not about religion.
Yeah.
Go ahead, ask me to answer your question. See what happens.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it, buddy.
That's right.
Nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh. That's what everybody was saying in the chat too. You saw that, didn't you, Linda?
Yeah. No.
Nuh-uh.
Well, because that is the flat Earth anthem. Nuh-uh.
Yeah. Nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh.
It can't be because God. It can't be because blah. It can't be because, you know,
Yeah.
I
Whatever.
don't fucking know. It looks flat to me. Well, it's not, asshole.
That's right. So I wonder how many times Canadian Thomas can work "nuh-uh" into a lyric.
Probably a lot. Probably a lot.
I will see that as a challenge, sir, and work on that.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
I guess Canadian Thomas isn't listening.
I guess not.
He's giving up.
No, he had to duck out for a minute.
Yeah.
No,
Dylan,
he did.
He's parenting.
He's blowing a priest.
Oh, geez.
Oh man. Yeah,
Wow.
who does Aimee have controls to mute DKG? No.
Geez.
I mean, that's okay. You know, he knows we can fill the air. It's not like any of us are short of things to say.
Yeah,
so.
we
Yeah.
can fill the air with all kinds of stench. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, we got all kinds of bullshit.
He'll come
to
back.
talk about.
He'll come back. Going, what the fuck did you do to my stream? We used to have people watch this. They're leaving in droves.
Yeah.
And you know, going back to the reparations thing, I think a lot of part of it on the side of who's going to pay out is the admitting that, you know, it's going to hurt their ego to admit they were wrong. So they don't want to admit it. It wasn't me. Well, it was somebody, damn it.
That's right. There was somebody.
It's always somebody did it. The shit doesn't, that's like saying guns kill people. No, people that pull triggers on guns kill people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not the same thing.
No.
So yeah, no, I don't know. I can't even begin to form an opinion of what good reparations would be for any of these people that have been stomped on, you know, all their ancestors stomped on. That's whew. I mean, I'd love to be part of the board to sit down and discuss it. I think they need some morality amongst the government, but whatever. That's just my opinion. You know, but I wouldn't know where to begin as far as, you know, we need to get people up there that have lived it and know it and listen to other people and can be a spokesman for their community. That's the only way we can get anywhere and head in a direction that's best for them. And
Right.
I don't really think, you know, everybody said, oh, pay a bunch of money. I think that's stupid. I think giving them a bunch of money is stupid because by the time you spread it out at the end of the day, they're each not going to get shit.
Yeah.
They're going to end up with a $500 check. That's an insult. What I think they should do is take that land that their ancestors helped work and give each one of them a piece of it. So much, an acre or something. Give them a hunk of land. Let them have a new start. You know, give them a hunk of land and build them a house on it. Start there. Give them something. You know, we all got something. You know, 40 acres and a mule. The white people got it. They didn't get shit, and they were promised that.
Yeah.
Give them the damn acre with the fucking house on it. That's what I say.
And you know, any committee that does get formed and does decide what it will ever be, it'll always be the wrong answer. That's you know, somebody's going to be pissed off no matter what decision a committee would come to on something like that.
Oh, absolutely. And that goes right back to these corporations running our government through the back pocket of the politician. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
And it's sad. And I'm not saying every politician's like that. I'm sure there's some 5 percentile out there that are moral and just, but
It's usually the young ones that are just getting into it.
Exactly. That's exactly what I said. I think we should wipe out not wipe out. I don't mean kill people. Do not take that like that. Literally drain the swamp and start over with younger people who see the world the way it is right now. It's not what it was 50 years ago. And I feel like a lot of these people are living in the past and trying to go off of all these laws. And it's like going off of the Bible. It wasn't written in present day. It's a whole different ball of wax. So, you know, if we got younger people in there that are more open-minded, aren't in anybody's pockets yet, and we get a clean slate, that is the only way we're going to save this country. That's, in my opinion, that's it. So it would have to be extreme.
Yeah, indeed. I can't wait to see how things play out. Because I mean, in Canada, you've got some people are looking towards the monarchy, British monarchy, as somewhat to blame because they were, you know, somewhat in charge during that time. A lot of people are looking at the Canadian government, and a lot of people are looking at the Catholic Church for actually running the places. So it's going to evolve. I hope in the end that we get to a place that works for everybody, and it doesn't become this huge knife that just cuts through society, because that just doesn't help. I mean, it just doesn't. I think there's a lot of divisions being drawn in the world right now between groups, and I just don't see that as 100% healthy, and adding more is just not really moving society as a whole forward. Did I get that right? Is that point good?
No, it's
Did I get that
absolutely right.
across?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But Dick, all you're seeing is the internet in physical form. That's all that's happening now in the world with divisions across the people of the people. That's exactly what's happening, and it's just basically just get rid of Facebook, and 90% of these problems would probably go away. Get rid of Twitter. It would just all go. None of these would be like wanting to talk to each other on the streets and being neighborly and nice and instead of fucking arguing over shit. And that's what happens. We're just a world of people arguing with everybody, like we do on the show. I mean,
No, that's not true. We don't argue with each other.
we sit there pointing at shit and stupid on the internet. So that's what everybody's doing all over the place. You know, whether you're talking about stupid topics like flat earth or real topics, it doesn't matter. That's what's happening in the world. And you've got the divisions that happen all because of the internet. And I blame that for everything. But then I'm an old man, so what the fuck?
Really, I have an earnest question. How boring would the internet be if we didn't have the stupidity level that we have across the world? God, it would just be people like happy getting along. Whew, man.
Well, I think the internet is definitely to blame for a lot of the crap. I mean, you know, it's so easy to find a literal echo chamber that fits whatever cognitive bias, belief bias you have. You can get all the confirmation and validation in the world, and it just perpetuates the stupid.
Yeah, because the thing with the internet is if you don't search properly and you search with a bias, you're only going to find stuff that confirms what you already thought. I mean, that's just not helpful.
No.
Yeah. No. And prior to the internet, these people, that conspiracy theorists or other groups, couldn't find each other. You had to live near each other. And there aren't that many that live near each other. So they weren't such a large group. The internet created huge groups that could all talk to each other and then feed off each other.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate. Everybody ready? Yep. Devil's advocate. Also, the internet has connected many people, helped people who are shut-ins and agoraphobic, and now they have friends, and people that are on the spectrum and don't feel comfortable talking in person but want to have discussions with people, and they can hide behind that camera and still have good discussions. It has broadened our knowledge about our own health and our own environment. So it's a two-edged sword, I think.
Hey, Dick Dawson,
definitely.
Dick Dawson, are you here? Are you listening to this? Yeah. This is a debate. This is a debate. Is the internet a force for good or bad? This is
I like it.
It's a good debate.
That would be
okay. Who's debating which side?
Well, I'm moderating.
Dick got right out of that shit.
He bailed on that one really
He did. He got out of that frying pan and jumped over on the counter.
Oh yeah, man.
Headed for a cup of coffee.
I'll watch it
like a man in a leaky boat. I fucking bail hard.
I will debate it. I will debate it with Mike or whoever.
I don't know. That's kind of hard to debate because I could easily see both sides. As a matter of fact, I've always thought, when I used to surf around the web before the World Wide Web. You had to, in the days of X Modem and Kermit, and you had bulletin boards, and you had all those online BBSs and Usenet, and then when the World Wide Web came around, when they were going to piggyback onto the internet with the World Wide Web, turn everything graphical, I was like, this is going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread, because you're going to have, you're going to be able to have access to information and data and all kinds of stuff that you couldn't before. You can find people with like interests, and you can do that. All that stuff does exist. And a lot of people, most people that are on the internet, that's what they do. But the problem is the stupid are very loud and vocal.
Yeah.
Can I bring you up on a point there, Mike? Not what you just said, but the way you started the conversation is you said you'd find it hard to debate because you kind of see it both sides.
Yeah.
Now that's not what you do in the debate, because you can have a stance which is completely opposite to what you're debating for. That's how proper debates are done in debate societies. You just basically stand up and hold a side. Yes, you hold your position and you.
But that's the problem. Mike and I don't know which side to pick. That's the problem.
Wow, that's what makes it even more interesting.
Pull it from a hat.
Yeah, Russian roulette.
Well, I can tell you from my own personal experience, which is all I can go off of. I have connected a lot of people. I've got people to meet new friends, to find mental health support, to find new venues to go to where they feel safe and they can say whatever they want and they know that they won't be chastised for it because I wouldn't allow it. And so, yeah, I think it's I've expanded my friend group and I never would have met you guys without it. So I like the internet. And yeah, it can be evil and people can use it for evil. And you're going to have that whether it's the internet or a book. Somebody's going to do something and whatever direction they want to lead people in. So,
yes, but a book is slower.
Yeah, I just blocked the assholes.
Internet is instant. You read a book, that takes time and you have to think about it and talk to other people. Whereas the internet is just instant.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, of course. Whatever. I'm not debating that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Aren't you?
No.
Are you sure?
No. It was just an example. I was just saying evil will put their thoughts out there no matter whatever the platforms
Moderator.
I'm too busy drinking.
There you go.
That's right.
Cheers.
Way to go with it.
Good shit, man. Good shit.
Yeah. I had to apologize for that because I was trying to drive him and it wasn't working.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I understood what you were doing. I was like, yeah, do it. No, okay, fuck. I'm supposed to say something here. Shit.
Yeah.
I gotta moderate.
Yeah, fuck. Hey, cool. Oh, geez.
So well without me.
This little kid issue I'm dealing with in the background is flaring up again. Give me one more minute. I'll be right back again.
Sure. I remember those days.
Yeah.
I miss them. Not.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I do miss my kid. I will say that. I do miss him. I love him to death and I miss him. And I hate the fact that he's, 1,600 miles away from me. But, yeah, no, I'm pretty good. I'm good not chasing kids. Lots of nieces and nephews growing up. And I did a lot of babysitting and stuff. So, yeah.
Just one word of advice. Maybe you shouldn't use the word chasing kids.
If anybody that's been around a child knows that that's what we do. We run around behind them and clean up messes, and you have to chase them. My God, if you just walked, you'd never keep up.
As long as it's not in a Chevy Vandura 1974 with puffballs hanging from the ceiling line, you're all right.
Right.
You gotta
with
have those
free candy written on the side and with spray paint. Right.
Yeah. What you got against my car?
Hey, speaking of sick ass people, I used to when I lived in Ohio, I lived in this little town northeast of Columbus, and there was a guy who owned an ice cream truck, and he was actually a pedophile, and they had to put the business in his wife's name because he wasn't allowed to have it anymore. But he still went around and sold ice cream under his wife's name. He was just an employee. I'm like, what the hell's the difference there?
I know.
Wow. Pissed me off.
That would have pissed me off too.
That's insane.
Yeah. Wow. So everybody that we knew, the kids were not allowed, like everybody knew that their kids weren't allowed to go to the ice cream truck. So they really didn't make a lot of money. I don't even know how they stayed in business.
I wouldn't like to think where those cones have been. I mean, we have an ice cream van driving around, and I said. I said to my son as we heard this thing driving around the streets, obviously no one's fucking coming out. I said, that is the epitome of optimism. It's like, how could you possibly make money driving that fucking? Okay, I know that a lot of these ice cream vans love to go to the car boot sales and festivals and stuff like that because they just rake it in. They make a fortune. But the ones that just like drive around the street hoping, for business to come out, when everybody can go to this local supermarket and get a big pack of cornettos for £1. Or run out to the ice cream van and pay £2 for one. It just does not make any logical sense that these things still exist. It's bizarre. There you go. That's my thought, and that's my sign.
I mean, we never got ice cream off the ice cream truck. Mom would take us to the store and buy the big freaking gallon of Neapolitan because there were so many of us and everybody got the flavor they wanted, And there was always like that stripe of strawberry down the center that only one person was eating. But that's what she'd do and spend $3, or you could spend $1.50 each, and for that $3 get 2 little tiny ice cream cones. Like that's not going to take care of all of us.
Well,
she wasn't stupid.
When I was a kid, the ice cream van would turn up and would like take a big bowl out and he'd fill it with ice cream and would share it out. But that was back in the day, and we were talking about the UK. We didn't have freezers back then. It was just like not a thing in Britain for people to have freezers. Yeah. Oh, we had fridges, but with a little tiny little freezer section at the top, some maybe.
Right.
But we didn't have freezers. That sort of like that came later in UK society.
Huh. It's like my brother who lives in Florida. He always used to say he never understood how people lived down there without air conditioning. And lo and behold, it was like the 1950s. They didn't have it for the longest time. And then in like 1950s, all of a sudden you got residential air conditioning. And everybody started moving to Florida. There's a lot of places and areas that just don't have stuff for no interesting reason. Although I did see an interesting picture recently where a guy has a nook in his shower. And that's where he puts, his various whiskeys. He's got glasses and he's got beer and a bottle openers in his shower. Talk about a segue.
That had to be
that was yeah.
No, why not? Hell, you put it wherever you need to. I live in a tiny home, you find nooks and crannies for everything when you live in a small environment. So I actually think that's a great idea, and I'm really sad I never thought about it.
Yeah, it's a full bar. Oh,
sounds like my kind of thing.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. No matter where you go in the house, there's got to be a place for a drink.
Well, in my house, it's like every corner.
Okay.
Usually at my place, I have to clear off the empties to make room for the new full ones, but that's another issue entirely.
You don't have deposits that you take back when you...
Well, I let them build up in my little storage shed, and then, eventually take them in once a month or whatever, yeah.
So you go back and they get mad at you because you've brought back a lot. Around here, that's what happens.
I take them to the bottle depot. I don't even bother going back to the little stores and stuff because they're just... a few of the stores in our area, like liquor stores, beer stores, cold beer and wine stores, whatever, actually have signs that say limit 24 returns max. And I always think to myself, but what if I just threw a party and bought like 4 flats of beer from here? If I have the receipt that says I bought them from here, why the fuck aren't you taking them back?
You see, a lot of people think Jeff Bezos became a billionaire through Amazon. It wasn't. It was just collecting Dick's empties.
Oh, well, a lot of the places around here have the machines.
That's the grocery stores.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah, you just take just stick the bottles in. It reads the label, and if it's
when it works.
When it works, yeah, it reads the label and knows it's a deposit, and if it's bottles, they break the glass, and if it's plastic, they shred it, and it goes down to a bin. And then you take the little receipt into the store with you, and they because it's counted how many bottles and it gives you the money.
Hey,
Interesting.
Dick, I think I solved your getting up to get alcohol problem. I think we should install in the wall of your house a bar that's accessible from like 3 different rooms. And then you could just reach into the corner and get beer.
I like that idea.
Well, no, you just flush all the water out the radiator system and put beer in there instead.
I think I found my new best friend. It looks like he's a Scottish Terrier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Party animal.
Who skateboards, drinks, and smokes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not me. You can tell because I can't ride a skateboard. So.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'm just going to ride my bike next to him or something. Yeah, like I have a bike. I'll drive next to him and drink with him. How about that?
Yeah.
There you go. It's got to wonder what the park is, too. So.
It's a funny little, caption, though. I don't know who this dog is or why he's banned from this park.
Well, I think it's obvious why he's banned from this park.
Yeah. But
I mean, who says that's a cigarette? It might be a joint. We don't know.
But look at the dog and look what he's doing. I mean, how could you not know who that is? It's Brian from Family Guy.
Ah, that's it.
Right? It has to be.
See, now I was talking to my kids about this, about signposts and taking them literally or subverting them. I mean, that sign doesn't say that the dog can't be on rollerblades.
Oh, it's true.
No, just a skateboard.
It's like when you see those signs saying "Please don't walk on the grass." Doesn't say anything about dancing.
Oh, skipping. Yeah.
You could run. You could jog.
Yes, that's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
you could even fence on it. Just don't walk on it.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be an interesting sign. No fencing on the lawn. What does that mean? Are we fencing? Don't put a fence on the lawn. Yeah. Thrusts. Yeah, Perry. Thrust.
Perry. Sorry, I was trying to leave thrust out of it. It sounded too sexual. I figured we'd get the chat started, and once those guys start on sex, we're just
you can't have.
We're right. Yeah, it's not me. No, never me. It's always the chat.
Well, you can't have a Perry without a thrust, so
Oh God, you dirty bastard!
I think you just started a new form of porn, and we're going to see that soon. Thanks Mike.
Fencing porn. Wow.
Depends on the sword you're using, buddy.
That's right. I guess.
That's going to be the new excuse for all the guys. No, it's going to be the new excuse for all the guys. Sorry, honey, this is just my practice epi.
That's right.
I'll bring out the real one next time.
Oh, Commander 401 in the chat says that dog was banned from the park because he's awesome. I like it.
He's too awesome. Well, those the fencing epes, they're also powered. That's how you know you've scored. So it gives it a little shock. That could be interesting.
Ooh, that's one for the ladies. I've found your G-spot, honey.
You know what the funniest part about that is a guy trying to talk about how he's going to please a woman. Come on, we know you guys don't know. All women fake it. Don't you know when you get up and go, oh, honey, I'm going to go take a shower, that they finish? That's what happens. That's why they let you shower first.
Hey, do you know how I make a woman happy? I admit I was wrong. I admit I was wrong.
There you go. That's how you get a woman off. Say, sorry, honey, you're right. The lawn's mowed and I'm doing the dishes in 5. That's how you get a woman off.
He's got it. She's got it.
Can you imagine why I was single for so long? I mean, I know these things. Oh, I'm so full of shit. It's because I'm an asshole sometimes. That's why. No.
Huh.
Some of us are just a lot to handle. That's all. Gotta have the patience of a saint. I'm not sure which saint because I don't know anything about saints because I'm not religious, but I've heard something about saints.
I know about the saint. The saint.
The saint? There's a saint?
Yeah. Roger Moore, the saint.
Roger Moore.
Yes, the saint.
That was a good series.
That's all I have to say.
Wow, we date ourselves, don't we?
Are you kidding, Linda? I just got excited the other day because I met one of the stars from Three's Company. Come on. Hell yeah, I'm dating
that would
myself.
have got me.
Well,
Huh?
that's kind of
Which
cool.
one?
Oh,
only two
Janet.
It was good. What a three.
Janet. Cool.
Yeah, she's so cool, man. She
Well,
looks
one of
almost
them's dead.
exactly the same, but she has gray hair. And she's still built the same, and she's all spunky. And I thought, what is she, like 60 now? No, she's like 70 something.
Yeah, she's got.
And you would never know by looking. She looks like she's
Oh, wow.
60 all day long.
Yeah.
And just bebops around. And she came in like grubby ass sweatpants and a t-shirt and an old pair of sneakers. And she was just really cool. She has the same haircut, but it's gray. And she was just really cool. And she was like kind of dancing around and joking around and moving her arms around and laughing. And you just would never know. You would never know that much time has passed.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
she's
kinda
really
cool.
nice. Really, really cool. I looked at it. Well, the funny thing is she had her mask on when she first came in and, in the doctor's office where I work. And I was like, how do I know you? And she said, what's that? And I said, your eyes. I recognize your eyes from somewhere and I can't figure out where it is. And she took down her mask and said, ever watch Three's Company? And I was like, oh.
There you go.
And I just looked at her like I didn't move at all. I didn't move a muscle. And I looked at her and I said, okay, well, my heart just dropped down into my stomach. It's wonderful to meet you.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, she's really nice. Really, really nice.
Yeah, I never meet anybody.
Well, I mean, if you lived where I live, they all live around here, man.
Ah.
Shirley McLean is the biggest donor for the homeless shelter here. Julia Roberts has like a house an hour outside of town and out in the middle of nowhere. There's all kinds of people around. I mean, there's shit ton of famous people here.
Huh.
So pretty cool. And they do a lot of filming in New Mexico. And so you always bump into stars everywhere because they're just like, they're here, they're filming somewhere, and you walk into like CVS and you're like, oh shit, is that? It's gotta be. And you're right. Like, it is. It's them,
So when I'm working in London in town, you see a lot of people. Now Dick will appreciate this one because one day I was I was in London with my daughter. She was at the recording studio, and we were just like coming out of there, and I was going back to the office, and sitting outside the door of my office where there was a cafe was Michael Gambon. Now, Michael Gambon, famous for being in like Harry Potter and things like that. And I said, well, wait for it. I said to Kyla, she goes, look, over there, it's Michael Gambon. She goes, what? Michael Gambon from Top Gear's Gambon's Corner.
Never mind anything else. Top Gear. You got to know all your stuff.
And so we said goodbye to my daughter. I went over and I sat down next to him at the table. I said, "Oh, hello, Michael. So I've got to tell you this story." So I repeated the story about what he said, and he just like killed himself laughing because for a child not to go like, "Oh, it's the guy from Harry Potter."
Harry Potter.
No, it's Michael Gambon from Michael Gambon's Corner in Top Gear.
That's awesome.
That is funny as shit.
Okay, I am horrible with actors' names. Who did he play?
Gandalf. No, wrong series.
Dumbledore, or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Oh
Dumbledore.
yeah, he was amazing. Yeah, he's been around the wizard block for sure. Yeah, he's amazing.
Yes, classic British actor.
A wizard is never late. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Actually,
just remembered that.
the only one I haven't met from Top Gear is the hamster. I've met Clarkson and James May.
Well, yeah, but you might have. You just probably walked past him without even knowing he was there. I mean, who knows, right?
Well, it was probably on the M4 in a car accident or something. Like, I might have passed him then.
That was probably it.
Oh, wow.
Give that man a car and you guarantee yourself a body shop bill. Oh man, he's had some big ones though, and he just comes back out. So he's a tough little bugger. That's for sure. Holy,
he is. Cracking man.
Yeah. I there's been there's been a few moments for me where I know people as Top Gear guests because, you know, being Canadian, they're popular in the UK and stuff, and I just never heard of them. And, you know, it happened to me a few times. Oh shit. My brain's lost it. I just had something. I'll see if I can remember. Hold on. I'll shut up for a second.
Reboot.
That Alzheimer's is kicking in there, Dick.
Oh, big time. Yeah, self-induced due to alcoholism. But yeah, sure. We'll call it Alzheimer's, you know, for sure.
Just think what this show's going to be like in like 20 or 30 years time, and we're still here and we're going, Dick, you remember that guy that what was his name? He wore the hat.
And I'm gonna be over here like, damn it, shut up, DKGs, roll another fucking blunt. Where's my cane?
It'll be hang on, I've got to go for a Riley every 5 minutes.
Yeah. Damn kids on the sidewalk again with those freaking boards with wheels.
Yeah. No, it'd be those damn kids on the sidewalk with their hoverboards. Yeah, we did it on wheels. We did it proper.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, the electric supercar, Don. Exactly. The Remick. That was crazy, man. He just bit the dust big time. I mean, he had already crossed the line and he was done the hill climb. Why didn't he just hit the fucking brakes? What happened? I don't even understand. This is the hamster crashing again, if anybody's not following along.
He was learning to fly.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of car, electric car, no less. The 8-bit guy, I was watching one of his videos from a year ago. If you're not sure who the 8-bit guy is, you don't understand retro computers. But anyway, the 8-bit guy did a thing about Sinclair computers or something, and I must have clicked off if I ever watched the video the first time, I'm not even actually sure. But at the very end, he dropped that he got himself a Sinclair C5 and he's importing it to the US. So, there's going to be an American doing a whole like restoration and whatnot on a C5. That should be amazingly funny.
I think I've still got a leaflet for one.
I'd love to get my hands on one. I just would love to see it in person. I mean, it just makes you want to sit down with Sir Clive there and just do the whole Jackie Chan. What are you thinking? Because, oh my God, what a stupid idea. Like, you sit in that thing and then you go out into actual traffic and you've never felt like a victim more in your life. I could only imagine the pains of like, you know, fear and dread that would come over you.
Now, wait a minute. Now we have to go back in time and think about what he was doing. And there's an analogy coming. There's a connection, a modern day connection coming to this. Now, he was foreseeing a world where you would end up having the C5 sort of like replacing your commuter car or your bicycle. So he was seeing an infrastructure to allow these vehicles to exist. So and then years later, we ended up with like people building cycle lanes. So they would have fit into that infrastructure perfectly.
I do get that part. But
now wait. Years and years later, there was a new invention coming up that people actually looked at it and thought, yes, this is going to change the world of commuting. And that was the Segway. And it had the same attitude that cities were going to be built around this thing. You know, the whole infrastructure was going to change. And the same thing happened to that. It just fucked up into nowhere. I mean, yes, they do kind of get used, but under certain restrictions. But yeah, it's the same idea. The changing of the world, and it just wasn't going to happen.
I get those points, DK. The other side of the coin is, though, you got to look at the product and how, like, you will destroy the motor in no time, if you don't pedal to get yourself off the line, you'll just simply kill it. And they tried to market it as if it was going to be for all the time. Well, here, let me see if I can find the picture of the rain kit.
No, yes, yeah, the rain kit's fantastic. It's just basically a wraparound. It was shit. Let's not deny it. It was shit. But the idea was sound, but the execution was horrible. But so was the first Tesla. Was shit. And
but they were at least smart enough to go and get the chassis from Lotus and stuff, right? Yeah. They were at least smart enough to go get the chassis for that first Tesla from Lotus. This thing is not safe to be on any road where there's cars. It just isn't.
Well, it's just blown plastic, isn't it? You know, it's just,
yeah.
Well, and that's like with the Segway too. These guys, the people that create these things, they have a great, like Dick said, the great ideas, bad execution. First of all, you have to make it so it's affordable for the common person, because the people that are rich are not going to get out of their Mercedes and Segway to work. That's not happening. So you make it expensive enough that only the rich people could afford it, but the only people that would use it is the poorer people. Now, if they made it affordable to the poorer people and made it, be able to use year-round electric, blah, 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 and there's power stations everywhere where you can power up for free because you can't afford that either. It's expensive. Then that would be a better way to market it. You need to make it accessible to all people.
And those Segways were expensive. That's
why the Volkswagen worked so well for so long. It was the family car. It was cheap and it was sturdy and it ran forever.
Yeah. Pull the engine simple, easy maintenance and whatnot. I mean, holy.
And
very true.
And it was working in an infrastructure that was already there.
Absolutely.
That's the problem. That's the problem with these new innovations is they need the infrastructure to change, and that's a big ask. It has to be fucking amazing.
And it's infrastructure, which is why I keep saying, electric cars, the way we're doing them right now with this charging and everything, I mean, that's fine for city cars and whatnot, but we need hydrogen fuel cells so we can keep our infrastructure, pull in, fuel up, and keep going.
Well, I've seen videos with people with electric cars, and they do the sort of the long journeys, and they really test out if these things are actually viable. And the guy will be saying, well, that there is a service station coming up that does have a charger. I have to sit in the car for about an hour to get enough charge to get to my next point.
Fuck that.
But then he turns up, and there's somebody already using the one PowerPoint. So he has to sit for an hour, wait for them to finish before he can go in. Whereas everybody else driving their big fucking 4x4s are just pulling up, filling up, and pissing off. In 15 minutes.
I think the downside to fuel cells, though, is there's going to be some nut job who's going to try to build an electrolysis unit in his garage so he can separate water into oxygen and hydrogen and blow up his fucking house.
Oh yeah, it's coming.
Oh yeah, it'll probably be behind a trailer somewhere.
I mean, if Mad Mike can build a steam powered rocket, it's coming. Come on.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Maybe we should have built a steam powered car. That would have been a good idea.
I love going to Jay Leno's garage for the steam powered cars, especially his Dobles. The engineering in those are unbelievably cool. It blows my mind. I love it.
Yeah, I'd love to see those in real life.
They're what?
Oh, me too. The Doble steam cars. They were the first cars of the steam era, but they were right at the end of the era where you could literally get in, turn a key, start it, wait 2 minutes and take off and drive. It wasn't all this pilot light and all this BS. It was just like Doble was a genius engineer, but he was a horrific businessman. And what he would do is every car was tinkered with and made a little differently, perfecting the design. And the investors were just like, holy God, would you stop and just let us sell these things? And it ruined the company, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they were the greatest steam cars ever made.
Nice.
Yeah. Very cool. I
Yeah,
love that
so-
stuff. I love engineering of mechanical engineering. Like, I just love it. Like, you know, the way a Wankel rotary engine works versus the piston versus like a steam. And I just love that shit. I don't care what it is, man. I like it.
Yeah,
Are we
me
talking
too.
about sex again?
Kind of.
I was reading something a while back. Electric cars. There was a company that built electric. It was mostly trucks for, like, you know, delivering groceries and milk and stuff. And we're talking like the early 1900s. And so yeah, they had a whole fleets of these trucks. They didn't really last very long because you could only get about 80 miles out of them before they needed to be recharged. And, you know, they had big old lead acid batteries. They weighed a ton, and
Yeah.
batteries didn't last long. But it's interesting that how far back that really goes.
Yes. Leno himself has this really cool Baker electric and another one as
Yeah.
well. Done full restos and stuff on them. They're
Yeah.
beauty. I love it. You know?
Yeah, we've had electric milk floats in this country.
Oh,
for
forever.
fucking-
Yeah.
except now they're not. They're not milk electric anymore. They're diesel.
Oh,
This is
so if the
interesting.
Top Gear crew ever wants to build another electric car, they're gonna have to find a really used one. What time is it here? 5:45. Okay, yeah, we're not in a rush yet.
That's where a lot of the early electric trucks were used. Actually, whereas it was in the UK.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting. But they were designed. Most of them were kind of designed and built in the US and the UK, but they're the same truck. I don't know what the actual relationship was there, though.
Ah,
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of good topics when it comes to engineering and, you know, where we're going with certain technologies and stuff. That's like an entire show unto itself. You know, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, what I really like is a lot of those YouTube channels that do restorations, and they'll get turn of the 20th century tools and power tools from the 1920s. You know,
Wow.
restore them so they're just almost pristine and they operate, and it's kind of amazing. But a lot of these guys also have their machine shops in which they can custom make the missing parts. But that's
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then buy a power tool today, and you'll be lucky if the motor lasts a fucking year before it gives up on you.
The German Truce was saying there's a lot of postal services using electrics as well. Very much true. John Eagle in the chat says, don't buy an EV if you live in Victoria, Australia. You'll be taxed 2.5 cents per kilometer. Only place in the world where there is a tax. Wow. What the hell?
Way.
Shit. What?
per
Kilometer.
Wow, that can get expensive fast.
Jesus Christ.
I couldn't afford to drive freaking 20 kilometers for the week. Hell with that.
Yeah.
Maybe you just drive around Victoria.
In the US, most states, and I think the federal government, give you discounts. They give you money to buy electric vehicles.
Yeah.
Tax breaks. Yeah.
You get tax breaks.
Yeah. They're not as big as they used to be, but they're still up here too.
Yeah.
But I mean, they almost have to, because the R&D to put out some of these, like the Nissan Leaf and whatnot and blah blah blah, is outrageous, and those cars are not worth what we're buying them for right now. They're just not. They're overpriced.
Yeah. People wouldn't buy them. It's so much cheaper because even with hybrids, it's so much cheaper to buy the same model that's not a hybrid. Why am I paying for a hybrid?
And Dick, you said they're overpriced. I don't think they are overpriced. I think they're actually underpriced. But just the amount of money it costs to make one of those cars is ridiculous. It's just phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, you've got the end of life and the battery packs to deal with and everything. It's horrible. That's why I really think hydrogen fuel cells is a way better way. Like right now, this development of electric cars works because charging for inner city cars is good. We're perfecting the electric drivetrain and getting it really good right now. And then you just rip out those damn heavy batteries and put in a fuel cell. Boom, done. Next. You know, you want a little bit of battery for like, you know, brake regen and whatnot, because I mean, if you got electric motors, you might as well be getting that energy back, right?
Well, in 20 years' time, when we're all got like Mr. Fusion stuck in the back of the car, who's going to give a fuck?
Yeah.
Just don't go 88 miles an hour.
The Colorado Biker says, watch the documentary, Who Killed the Electric Car? I have seen it. It's very good. I recommend it as well.
Yeah, I just can't imagine a tax, that much of a tax per kilometer. I mean, what I just 16 miles. So it's about, so I would drive back and forth to work 50 kilometers a day. Holy shit. That would get expensive.
Yeah, man.
Fast.
Yeah.
Wait. Don't let him off so light. Do the math.
Do what? Do what math?
50 kilometers, 2.5. Was it 2.5 cent per kilometer?
So carry the 3.
It would be more interesting if you said you drive 50 miles and it's 2.5 cents per kilometer, and then you have to convert.
Well, it's actually
brain aching.
Well, give him a minute.
We can get 16 miles each way. So
we can get Spurs Chemo to help if you want. But,
yeah, right. Yeah. or Riley, you can get him to help too, because
he's really good at math.
Yeah, he's really good at math.
Hey, you know, the bottom line is if you take the circumference of a baseball, multiply it by the thickness of a full shag carpet, and then divide it by, say, the sunshine, you're going to get the right answer. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Just saying. Yeah. Says, it's too bad.
It's about as absurd as they sound.
No, I mean, that's what I was going for. I hope
you did. You did good. You did good.
Thanks.
I like that. That was very good.
Thank you.
Blue Marble Science responded to me in the chat there. He was like, you know, the tanks for like, you know, to hold hydrogen and stuff are going to have weight, because I was saying about the batteries. And sure, it's not going to be like a fuel tank that's just, you know, like light as they are now when they're empty. But even still, if you take that first Tesla Roadster and then go back and compare it to like the Lotus Evora or whatever chassis it's built on. I mean, let's face it, they're all on that same chassis over there anyway. The Tesla Roadster was horrifically heavy compared to the Lotus it was built on. It's not good. Oh.
Well, you know, but you also have to consider as well, if you're going hydrogen, you don't need much. You don't need big, huge. You could put a big, huge tank in there and not fill it for like a month or something, you know?
Yeah.
But you can go small, fill it once a week, if at the most, and then you don't have to worry about the weight, because it uses such a small amount. I've actually seen some videos of cars that were converted to hydrogen, and it's pretty damn cool, man. And you don't have to have big tanks. So
why don't we just electrify the roads like the Scale Electrics?
Like trains?
Because some dumbass would walk on it.
Or what do you guys call them? What do you guys call them? Bumper cars, Dodgems. You could just put a big grill across all the roads at the top, and everybody just extends their pole.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's a lot of infrastructure, though, that has to be built just to drive a car.
Boy, that would change American road rage. That would be funny as hell.
Yeah.
Everybody in a little bumper car. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Dick, asshole. That's my lane. There are no lanes. Shut up. I'm first.
Yeah, I know.
It'd make
Wouldn't that be great?
Fun.
Yeah. You get bored in the traffic jam. Who am I going to ram?
then you would have cars like this. I just dropped a picture.
And to make it more fun, I think they should put speakers along the highway. So you have that good, you know, bumper car music going and bumping while you're driving down the road trying to kill other people in a bumper car that can only go 50 miles an hour.
Yes. So this would be the result of road rage. You can't get out of your car now. So
Jesus, you can't even sit in that car. Do you guys know how small that car is? Were we talking about that the other day, Dick? Well, those cars.
Yeah, that's the little Izetta, right?
Yeah.
W, yep.
Yeah, but the funny thing was, that car probably ran for like 70 miles to the gallon. You put that gun in, and it's down to 3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
right.
The gun probably weighs as much as the car does. So. And if you fire it, you could drive backwards so fast.
I was just gonna say, if you pulled the trigger, that thing's gonna crumble. It's gonna fold in half, man.
Well,
I
thought
think
if
it'll
you
just
did it,
flip
might-
over.
That's what I was
sorry.
thinking. Is
Yeah,
that it
it
would flip
might.
over?
I want video. I want video now.
The gunner would be facing up in there like, damn, that didn't work.
Yeah.
When you say gunner, where do you put the gunner?
Oh, he's got to sit on top of the rag top, man. That's a cushion
Yeah.
for his
Oh.
ass. That's where he's got to sit at, cross-legged.
Yeah,
Yep.
that sounds.
Now
like
you
a
just add another
space
200
plane.
pounds of the car.
Chief
Yeah, but-
Mojo Rising in the chat says, check out the Reliant Robin. You got to look that one up. I was like, oh, trust me, I know it well. I mean, I'm a car guy, right? The if I was going to go with a Robin, though, I would be going for the Bond Bug. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's just a fucking Reliant Robin underneath, but the Bond Bug has style. It looks cool.
It was shit. It was absolutely
It is.
shit.
It's awful.
But,
Yeah.
But I'm on your side. I always loved the Bond Bug when I was a kid. And you can only get them in orange.
Yep. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
it was
Colorado
nature.
biker.
I honestly have to say
Colorado-
I've never seen that before. Never seen one.
Oh, it's crazy. It's a very UK thing. I just want to point out Colorado Biker in the chat says the biggest problem with hydrogen fuel cell is the safe storage of the hydrogen. Exactly. But I mean, we figured it out for other types of fuels and stuff. And if anybody, really wanted to, with the infrastructure save and whatnot, it would do. I think we'd get there. I really do. I don't think it would be.
Yeah, a big old tank of gas. That's about as flammable shit as you can get right there. So
Ask any Pinto owner. Wow.
yeah, that's right.
See,
Unsafe at any speed. That's right.
Yeah, man.
Rolls-Royce are working on these nuclear power stations, very, very small nuclear power stations. They can just like build and you just, like fit them like a boiler in your house. So maybe you never know. Rolls-Royce might come up with the first nuclear-powered car. Ooh. That'd be
Yeah,
pretty
and
cool.
then your kid's
you
hair
talk about
starts falling out and shit while you're driving down the road.
I was going to say, you talk about the safety of the fuel. You can imagine what that's like, going to the garage and getting a new nuclear pellet to drop into your car. The process.
Well, I think the problem becomes that, you just buy a couple cars and you can make a dirty bomb.
Oh, yeah, but that's internet talking.
You ever seen a pileup on the highway? I'm good. I don't want to be there for that one.
Especially one of those ones where you get the fog that just descends and all of a sudden there's like a 3 mile long 75 car pileup.
Yeah, it happens.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we were thinking of the future, and you have to bring it down with reality.
Oh,
Yeah, because
dude,
there's too many
sorry.
stupid people out there.
Yeah, because the next thing
I'm
you know,
looking at-
everything we say on here, they're going to keep. Maybe we should put that
Yeah.
bullshit warning out there, Dick. Don't
Yeah,
listen to us. Don't try this at home. It's just
Yeah.
bullshit.
Well, anybody who
I'm-
watches the Shills knows to do that.
Yeah, it's in our credits, man. Are you kidding?
Yeah, actually it is. Yeah.
Yep. Everything you just watched and heard is pure, unadulterated bullshit.
And if we offend anybody, too bad.
Hey, I brought
go blow
science.
goats and all that stuff, right? I'm just looking at the time here. We should get our roundtable wrap-ups done. We're almost at that 2-hour mark, and as soon as we hang up and adjourn for the evening, I've got a little man to feed supper, so we can't actually run late tonight.
Yeah, that's cool.
Bye.
That's DK's
let's-
wrap up. Bye.
Done.
Yeah.
Done. We're done.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's see here. We'll start with Mike. Mike, thoughts and wrap-up.
Yeah, it was a good discussion. I had a lot of so many different topics. That's the good thing about the pub chat. You never know what we're going to be chatting about. So I had a really good
Exactly.
time. There was some good discussion going on here tonight. And thanks for everybody for watching and chatting in the side chat.
Excellent. I couldn't agree more. DK, thoughts and wrap-ups, but
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd like to apologise to Mike for being probably the one person that interferes with the great discussions. But there you go. That's what I'm a dick. What can I say? I hate to say, look, sorry, gang. I mean, I know your audience are sitting out there on bated breath of every single one of my words. I'm not going. I am not going to be here tomorrow because I'm going away. They're
taking you away.
Well, we use the words holiday in quotes, but we're making a film because that's tax deductible.
Oh yes, okay. It's a business expense.
So yes,
it's not a holiday. It's a business expense.
It's a business expense. Yeah.
Yes.
And now you sound like the U.S. government.
Or the Trump organization.
Oh,
come on. Not that bad. But I don't own any golf courses. Yeah, so I won't be around tomorrow or probably next week either. So yeah, you'll have to do without me. So
shit.
Yeah, I know it's tough. I mean, I can see the chat crying that I'm not going to be here. But
no, that's a laughing face, man. You misunderstood that.
You're mixing up your.
I was just
emojis.
counting the money I'm going to save because I won't have to get drunk to have the show.
You will anyway.
Yeah, DK's the excuse now. All right, Dick.
Yeah. Somebody's got to be. Let's turn to B. What do you think? Thoughts and wrap ups, B.
Well, I think my thoughts and wrap ups are if you're going to debate, know how to debate and actually debate. Don't discuss the debate. That's for pre-debate. I also want to say that to anybody listening that is of indigenous descent, it's shitty and I'm sorry. And I wish it never would have happened. As far as vehicles go, I had to shut up for a little bit because I don't know shit about them. But I did appreciate the banter and learning some new things about some vehicles. And I will say that I really appreciate the discussion tonight. And you guys are brilliant. And I love talking with you. And I appreciate everybody in the chat. Like Mike said, thanks for coming.
Cool. Good shouts. Let's check in with Linda. What do you think? Thoughts and wrap-ups?
Oh, well, what I'd like to say is what I learned tonight is there's some really weird looking vehicles out there. But it's a good chat. It definitely was a good chat tonight. And I just, same thing. Thanks to everybody for coming. We really appreciate everybody. And good night.
Awesome. Cool. And Aimee, are we still there? How's things your way?
We are, and thank you so much. It was a great evening. I know some of those cars brought back some memories. That was really cool. I know, and someone mentioned a Citroën, the De Chevaux. I just want one so bad too. I would love to have one. That'd be awesome. But thank you so much, everybody. It was a great conversation, and thank you everyone in the chat for showing up, and thank you all for coming. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Awesome. And on that note, fellow babies, I think we're all done here. So why don't we slide over to our refrigerators for one last drink and say goodbye to all the fellow babies out there. Good night, everybody. Take care.
Peace out.
Good night.
Peace out.
Cheers.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Eat snack.